What if your legs have been trying to warn you for months, and you just haven't recognized the signs? If you often deal with cold feet, tingling, calf cramps when you walk, ankle swelling, or veins that seem to get worse every summer, it may be tempting to dismiss it as just getting older. But circulation problems are one of those issues that people often ignore until they become much harder to fix. And while food alone cannot reverse blocked arteries or severe vein disease, certain nutrients really do matter for the health of your blood vessels. Today, on the Vital Nourish, we're going to talk about the warning signs you should never brush off, the 4 vitamins that help support vascular health, and the foods that can help you build a circulation-friendly plate in real life. Before we get into nutrition, we need to be clear about something important. Poor circulation is not a diagnosis by itself. It can be linked to peripheral artery disease, chronic venous insufficiency, diabetes, nerve compression, thyroid problems, or other medical issues. That means this video is not about self-diagnosing from YouTube. It's about recognizing patterns early enough to take them seriously. The American Heart Association notes that the classic symptom of lower extremity peripheral artery disease is leg pain with activity, especially pain that shows up when you walk and gets better with rest. Cleveland Clinic also lists pain, numbness, tingling, and coldness in the legs, feet, hands, or toes as common circulation-related symptoms. One of the biggest red flags is repeatable leg discomfort when walking. Maybe you notice that after the same distance or after the same number of minutes, your calves start to tighten, burn, or cramp. That pattern matters. Cleveland Clinic describes claudication as muscle pain caused by blood flow problems in the legs, and the American Heart Association says activity-related leg pain is one of the most common warning signs of PAD. It doesn't prove you have a blocked artery, but it absolutely deserves medical attention, especially if it keeps happening the same way. Another sign people ignore is cold feet, especially when it's warm out. Sometimes cold feet are harmless. Cleveland Clinic says some people simply run cold by nature. But cold feet can also be linked to reduced blood flow, especially when they show up with numbness, color changes, or pain. The American Heart Association and Cleveland Clinic both note that poor circulation can show up as coolness in the feet or lower legs, especially when blood is not reaching the extremities efficiently. Then there's the skin. Slow healing cuts, less hair growth on the legs, pale skin when the leg is elevated, or reddish or dark discoloration near the ankles are not things to shrug off. The American Heart Association lists slow healing wounds, color changes, reduced hair growth, and slower growing toenails among PAD warning signs, while Mayo Clinic warns that varicose veins with ongoing pain, swelling, skin discoloration, or ulcers need professional evaluation. If the problem is on one side, gets worse quickly, or comes with chest pain or shortness of breath, that becomes even more urgent. Visible veins matter too, but not always in the way people think. Spider veins and varicose veins are not the same as blocked arteries, but they can still signal chronic vein problems. Mayo Clinic notes that varicose veins can cause aching, heaviness, swelling, and sometimes skin ulcers or clots. So yes, nutrition matters, but it matters alongside walking, weight management, not sitting or standing for too long, and, when appropriate, medical evaluation and compression therapy. Now let's talk about the nutrient side, because this is where people often oversimplify things. No vitamin can cure poor circulation if the underlying problem is plaque, damaged veins, or advanced diabetes. But some vitamins do support the tissues, blood vessels, and antioxidant systems that healthy circulation depends on. And the smartest way to start is almost always with food. The first one is niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Niacin has a long history in cardiometabolic medicine because prescription-strength niacin can raise HDL and lower triglycerides. But here's the nuance. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements notes that while high-dose nicotinic acid can improve blood lipids, those changes have not been shown to reduce heart attack, stroke, or sudden cardiac death risk the way people once hoped, and experts do not recommend high doses casually, especially for people already on statins. High-dose niacin can also cause flushing, low blood pressure, fatigue, nausea, high blood sugar, and even liver problems. So for YouTube viewers, the message is not buy niacin supplements. The better message is get enough niacin from food unless your clinician tells you otherwise. Good food sources include poultry, beef, fish, nuts, legumes, and grains. The second key nutrient is vitamin C. This one matters because vitamin C is required to make collagen, and collagen is essential for connective tissue and wound healing, including the integrity of blood vessels. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements says vitamin C is needed for collagen biosynthesis and is also an important antioxidant. That doesn't mean vitamin C supplements will suddenly open your arteries, but it does mean that vitamin C supports the structure and repair systems your circulation relies on. The best food sources are fruits and vegetables, especially citrus, peppers, kiwi fruit, broccoli, strawberries, tomatoes, and potatoes. Because vitamin C is sensitive to heat and storage, fresher sources often preserve more of it. The third nutrient is vitamin K. Most people only hear about vitamin K in relation to clotting, but the story is broader than that. NIH says vitamin K is important for blood clotting and healthy bones, and researchers are studying whether low vitamin K status is linked to stiffer, narrower vessels. But the evidence is not strong enough to say that vitamin K supplements can reverse circulation problems. What we can say is that getting adequate vitamin K through food is part of a healthy pattern. Leafy greens are the big players here: spinach, kale, collards, Swiss chard, broccoli, and similar vegetables. The major caution is warfarin. If you take warfarin, the goal is not to avoid vitamin K completely, but to keep your intake consistent and work with your clinician. The fourth nutrient is vitamin E. Vitamin E acts as an antioxidant, helping protect cells from free radical damage. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements also notes that vitamin E replete endothelial cells, the cells lining blood vessels, are better able to resist certain harmful processes, and that vitamin E can support vasodilation and reduce platelet aggregation through endothelial signaling. That sounds impressive, but again, we need balance. High-dose vitamin E supplements can increase bleeding risk, and the tolerable upper limit exists for a reason. So for most people, the better approach is food first. Nuts, seeds, vegetable oils, and green vegetables like spinach and broccoli. Almonds and sunflower seeds are especially strong sources. So what does this look like in real life if you want one meal that actually supports better circulation nutrition without turning into a supplement project? A simple example would be a bowl built around salmon or beans for niacin and protein, a big handful of spinach or kale for vitamin K, sliced red bell peppers or kiwi on the side for vitamin C, and a sprinkle of sunflower seeds or almonds for vitamin E. Drizzle it with olive oil, add herbs and lemon, and now you have something that is practical, anti-inflammatory, and much more realistic than chasing random pills. Even something as simple as oatmeal with sunflower seeds and berries at breakfast, then a big salad with beans and peppers at lunch, can move you in the right direction. But let me say this as clearly as possible. If you already have persistent symptoms, calf pain when walking, one-sided swelling, cold feet with color changes, or wounds that heal slowly, food is not step one. Medical evaluation is step one. The American Heart Association, Cleveland Clinic, and Mayo Clinic all emphasize that symptoms like these can point to peripheral artery disease, chronic vein disease, or even dangerous clotting problems. Nutrition is powerful, but it works best as support, not denial. So if your legs and feet have been sending you signals, don't ignore them. Use food wisely. Get enough of the nutrients your blood vessels need. Walk, move, and stop sitting for hours at a time. But also get checked if something feels off, because circulation problems are much easier to manage when they're caught early. This video is for general educational purposes only and does not replace medical advice. If you have circulation symptoms, take prescription medications, or are considering high-dose vitamin supplements, talk with your healthcare professional first.